airlines is where I wanted to be. That was going to give me the most promising future. So I went ahead and quit cargo. I went back to the airlines and did that for about another year, which flying cargo was about the best thing that could have ever happened because those 6 months that I stepped away from the airlines and accelerated my flying career through more time and hours. And trust me, it was not fun. I had to give up my entire social life. I was a night owl. I woke up at 2 p.m. and I went to sleep at 8 a.m. Um, it was completely worth it.
But you did what you had to do, got a lot of hours there. And what I'm hearing is all you thought about was what is best for my future, not what gets me ahead today, not what makes me happy, not instant gratification. You looked and said, I'll give up my 20-year-old. I'm a cool, good looking pilot. Look at his picture. If you have this on Instagram or somewhere, he just looks so happy. He's like a freaking model out there. And he's going to give this up in his whole nightlife so he can go fly and carry boxes around the US all night, every night, right?
That's exactly right.
And what
But
was the pay difference?
so I was making about $50,000 a year flying for a regional airline. And I went down to a base salary of $400 a week.
That is quite a drop.
Yeah. I would say I think I made on my W-2 32,000 when I was flying. Yeah, I mean, I think I made 16,000 flying cargo in 6 months. So run that across a year, and it was about 32,000 a year.
So sometimes you've got to take the hard choice today because your life will be better in just 5 more years, right, Ethan?
Yep, I've heard that a lot.
All right. So then you go back to you're flying regional jets again. Is that right?
That's correct. And then in March of 2022, I ended up switching airlines to a very well-known low-cost carrier here in the United States, and I was flying the Airbus for them, seating up to 244 passengers.
Wow.
Wow.
So now we're flying the big boys, the Airbus 320, correct?
That's correct. We flew the Airbus 320 and the Airbus 321.
All right. In there, you also started doing some more flight instruction, or that what happened? When did you get back with this little airport right by Akron Canton?
So, believe it or not, my story there actually starts the moment that I moved back to Ohio. So, to kind of take a step back again, throughout COVID, I was still living in Florida and I was commuting up to Detroit to fly for my regional airline. And I decided, man, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if I'm still going to have a job. So, the real estate market was surprisingly warm. I left Florida. I came back to Ohio, moved back in with my dad and was flying cargo there. And when I came back, I just popped in down at the local airport and I was told that the flight school was going to close. This is the same flight school that 30 years prior my dad had taken flight lessons at. So it had a little bit of a sentimental value to me.
This, by the way, is the same flight school that I got my private rating, my multi rating, my IFR rating. Your dad went there, and John Glenn learned to fly at that same airport.
That's correct.
So that's been going on for quite a while, and now it's going to close down. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. So his name also happens to be Eric, not to be confused with the great Eric we have here. And uh, when I was speaking with him, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna close the school. It's been running in the red for so many years." So I said, "Hey, let's step back. Give me the opportunity to change that for you." I had just come out of having several years of flight instruction experience. I still had my current flight instructor certificates. I'd done just about everything there was to do in the instruction world. I'd taught every single certificate. I'd even become a check airman and issued licenses. So I kind of knew the ins and outs. And I said, let me see if I can turn this around. If I can't, 1 year from now, give every single dollar that you paid me. I give it all back to you. You just hold it. It's all yours. Close the school and I'll walk away.
That sounds just like something I'd say. You bet all of your money, your time, and everything you put into it to prove, say, I will bet on me. Give me a chance, and it won't cost you anything.
That's
That,
correct.
That's incredible. That is how you become a superstar. All right.
And
So there you are. Apparently, a year later, it was still going.
yeah, so that was in August of 2020, when I took over as chief flight instructor there. Now, the title really didn't mean much because it was me and one other guy. Um, However, throughout the last 3 years, we have successfully 10x the business in total. We're going to cross, I think, $500,000 this year. We went from one airplane to four, and at my peak, I had 6 instructors working for me, where it was just 2 to begin with.